Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. Patience is a must in retirement. Hey man, we're into the what I call the silly season of retirement. You got so many people to retire at the first of the year. A lot of people choose first of the year to retire, and I understand. You know, in these last 2 or 3 months that you're still employed, man, is when retirement really hit you, that you're actually going to retire. It's when it hit me. I mean, it took me 4 months in 22 before I decided I was actually going to retire. You know, I still wasn't sure. I went about preparing just like I was going to, because I'd planned on it, but I wasn't sure till April, May of that year. And then, you know, in the last couple of months, man, you got all them things you got to do. You know, paperwork's got to be signed. You got to hand in your notice. You know, you got to make sure your distribution starts if you're going to take distributions, or your Social Security starts, and all that's on a time frame. And usually it's for me, it was no sooner than 90 days before, and no later than 60 days, I believe, is what it was for my pension. And you got to get your health insurance started on time. If you know, it's just so much of that junk that happens. And once you start signing them papers, man, I'm telling you, that's when it hits. That's when the realization for me hit that, hey man, I was actually going to be retired, unemployed. So, you know, and hey man, money's a big deal in retirement, man. You got to have enough to get on. I don't care how you do it, man. I don't care if you got to work another 5, 10 years. I've seen too many, man. I know too many that didn't have it. I know more that don't have a penny to their name than I do that's got $1 million bucks. I can tell you that. And sure, they make out okay, you know, but they got nothing to fall back on if anything goes squarely on them. They just don't. And that's where having a little bit on the side is a big help, man. It'll pull your butt out the fire when you need it. You know, they struggle. I've been with them before, man, when they've been in a drugstore and couldn't get their medicine. I said, nah, y'all keep it. Ain't got the money for it right now. I didn't want that when I retired. And I don't think anybody does. Nobody wants to retire like that. Live out the last few years on earth struggling for money, for $1. You know, the fear of being like that is what forced me to save. You know, I've said it before, man. I didn't actually save for retirement as much as I saved out of fear. Fear is a big motivator, Doc. I didn't work because I wanted to. I worked because I needed the money. Put food on the table, you know, raise a family. When it come time that I was either unable to work anymore, or I didn't want to, I wanted to be ready. So and it's a long, hard slog, man. You know, it took us forever, it felt like, to save up $100 in 1 month. You know, it just is, you know. But hey man, the mental side of retirement to me is just as bad. You know, it's just as important, because you're building a new life for yourself when you retire. There's not very much that transfers between one life when you're working and the life when you retire. And I mean, I carried a lot of baggage with me. The biggest one was my age, man. It was embarrassing. It was, you know, it was kind of shameful for me. I didn't, you know, it took me a few months to get over that. I ain't gonna lie to you, you know. But, you know, you're going into retirement, and it's 20 or 30 years of unknown, and that'll spook anybody. But, that's why you got to have patience, man. You know, I treated it just like another job. Like I was left a chemical plant, I was going somewhere else to work. I expected it to take me 6 months or so before I kind of got the hang of things. You know, it's no different than anything else you've ever done that was new to you. When's the last time you changed a diaper? Remember the first time? I mean, that was a mess, dog. That was a disaster for me. I think my boy peed on me the first time. Then I learned to put the diaper over him first. You know, and retirement's the same way. You know, for some reason, when we get to retirement age, the unknown scares the heck out of us. We graduated school, man, and all we could see was opportunities. But when you get to retirement age, man, you don't see nothing but the bad that's happening. You know, and you got to learn that stuff. There's no way you can duplicate retirement until you get in it. And once you get in it, you start figuring it out just like everything else you ever done in your life. It takes patience, because you're going to screw up, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, you're going to screw up. There's no perfect plan out there. There's a fault in all of them. And you don't find them out until you retire. The biggest fear most people have is money, man. Running out of their money. And it's sad to say, but can't nobody tell you whether you got enough or whether you're gonna die broke or not until you die. So it's gonna take you, hopefully it takes you 2 or 3 decades before you figure it out. You know, it's just no guarantees, man. Life has no guarantees, and retirement sure don't. You're planning for 20 or 30 years in the future, and nobody can tell you that. You gotta have patience till you can learn. You're gonna screw up. You're gonna feel uncomfortable. You're gonna miss some of the aspects of working. You know, your social activities, the mental stimulation. Some people, you know, I never had no trouble with a lot of this stuff. I got a small mind. I don't need no social interactions. I just don't. And some people have a feeling of worth through their job. To me, it was just a way to make ends meet. You know, that's why I had 2, 3, 4 of them at a time. So it just, I needed them to make ends meet. And once I got to the point that I didn't need them, I quit, man. I just didn't see no need in being there if I didn't need to be there. Yeah. But them last 3 months, 2 or 3 months, man, it really comes true to you that, hey, man, you actually gonna get out of there. You know, and try to enjoy the moment, man. Enjoy them interactions you have with your coworkers. A lot of them you'll never see again. And it ain't their fault, man. When's the last time you visited somebody that had retired? Probably not very often. You're in 2 different worlds. They're still stuck in the working world, and you're in retirement. You know, retirement can be whatever you want it, but try and be realistic with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Realistic with your expectations, and you're honest with your ability to do it. You know, and be practical, man. You know, I mean, yeah, I think that helps. I mean, that's a big deal for us. You know, you just have to keep trying stuff. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than people let on. You gotta forget old things you did, old habits, and start new ones. And it's all dependent on you. You know, and that's the joy of retirement, man. You ain't gotta do squat that you don't want to do. And so that's why I'm sitting down most of the time. But anyways, man, just have patience, man. Trust your ability to adapt and overcome, man. You've always done it. You know, I don't care what situation you were in, a new job, a new school, you moved to a new house, you had kids, you got married, all them situations you had to adapt and overcome, figure out. And you don't do it overnight. After 40 plus years of hustling and busting your rump and not running wide open, you're not going to be able to slow down automatic. It takes your time. Anyways, man, the only reason I did this video today was, usually I can give you a daggone junk video. If I don't put out a video on Monday and Friday, if it comes out any other time of the week, usually it's a junk video. But I got a live coming in tomorrow night, Thursday. That's the 3rd Thursday already, and it's barely the middle of the month. We got 5 this month. But 3rd Thursday of the month live at 7 p.m. Eastern. A lot of times I don't even don't even let anybody know. I forget. So I figured I better make one and see if anybody wants to show up or not. We talk about anything and everything, from football and baseball, race cars, cake. Baby made a daggone pumpkin roll. I got a picture of it. I might put it on here. That thing's good, Doc. But anyways, man, y'all take care of yourselves, man. Hope to see you tomorrow night if you show up. If not, hey, man, we'll catch you later on. Y'all take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you later.